A font. What is a font? Well, it's how your letters look when you print them out on a newspaper or a letter or anything like that. And that's what this new video series is going to be all about. I'm going to describe various different fonts, how they came to be, and why you're using them today. And the first one I'm going to talk about is probably something that's really well known. It's the Times New Roman font. Where did it come from? Well, the name pretty much tells you where it comes from. Now, Times and New doesn't tell you too much, but Roman tells you something. This was the kind of font that was originally created by the Roman people back in ancient Rome, okay? But it didn't become modernized like you see it today until 1931. Well, where did the modern Times New Roman come from, okay? Well, it came from a newspaper called the London Times. Now, we here in the United States call it the London Times. If you were to go back into Europe and you were to go into the United Kingdom, it would just be called the Times. All right? This newspaper was created back in 1785. And for 219 years, it was printed in a broadsheet format. Now, this broadsheet format is much like what you would see the Chicago Tribune today. Very large. Even the Decatur Herald Review is printed in a broadsheet format. All right? Now, the broadsheet format has very little to do with the font, but in the London Times, back in 1923, they hired a guy by the name of Stanley Morrison, and they hired him to be a typographer. Okay, and this is a guy that designs the print of your paper. Now, when he started his career, he started it with Imperial Magazine, and then he later on moved to the Pelican Press. He was captured in World War I for a while and was later released, and he went on to start working for the London Times as we know it today back in 1923. But in 1931 he started criticizing the London Times for the poor quality of their print. Well, they said, well, if you can do a better job, go do it. And he did. And that's when he created the Times New Roman format. This is the Times New Roman font that you now see on your computers today. And that's how it was created. And it's very famous. Most people use it, especially in newspapers or in feature publications, books. Like I said, it's a very famous format. And you're more than welcome to take a look at it yourself. Many of your word processing programs use Times New Roman, so when you open one up, don't be surprised to see that font. Alright, that tells you a brief history of the Times New Roman font. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.